Now that you've designed your homepage, it is time to start thinking about modules. Think of modules as units. Different teachers choose to use modules in different ways, but modules are a great place to house your content for your course. In this course, you can see that when I click on modules, the modules are arranged into different projects. You can see that many of the projects are labeled with day 1, then day 2 through 4, and it helps students to see how they would work through each module or unit. Other teachers choose to use modules differently. Many elementary teachers, for example, choose to have modules set up for a week. This way, students can see a page that houses the information for each day of the week. When you click on Monday, you can see that there has been a page created with places to put information for all of the different units of that day. This is a decision that is up to you as a teacher. When you plan, do you think through your units, or do you think more about it as a day-to-day basis? Whichever you decide, you will want to get ready to start using your modules to keep your information organized. Back in your course, click on Modules to get started. To create your first module, you will click on the Add Module button on the right-hand side of the page. If you tend to structure your units very similarly, you may want to create a module template. No matter how you are using modules, you may want to start by creating a template. For example, in this option where you are using the template for Monday through Friday, you can see that when I click on to Monday, it has the full schedule. It is ready to be filled in with the information for this week, Monday. When I click on one of the other days, you can see that they are also set up the exact same way as Monday was. This saves time in setting up each daily schedule. Back in the other course, you can see that even when using units, you can set up a template. Here, I have the Day 1 template, which shows the introduction and tools that students will need for a project. And then there is an assignment template, which shows students how they will turn in their assignments. If there are directions you need students to follow often that they may forget, you might want to add these into your template. For example, my students often need to submit work to Canvas, so I created a quick video showing them how to. This has proven very helpful when students go to turn in their work. They know exactly what steps to follow and can refer back to the video if they get stuck. Having this in the template means that it will be copied onto every assignment page that I create from here on out. Let's get started creating a module. In this case, I will do a unit template module. Here, I'm going to create pages that will be the basics of what I use for all the rest of my units. When you are working on creating a module, the plus button on the module will be very helpful to you. Clicking here will allow you to add all different kinds of components from your Canvas menu. For example, I might choose to start by creating a page that is an introduction to the unit. Because I have not already created this page, I select the Create Page button. Here I can type Unit Introduction. Then I click Add Item. This page has now been created. I didn't have to go to the Pages menu at all. In fact, I can simply click here to edit the page. Here, I will create a template for a unit introduction page. Here, I will format the page exactly as I will want it for when I create my different units. You may find it useful to use tables for this as well. For example, here I could create a table where I would show a video at the beginning of each unit. I could also write the directions that I would want my students to follow for every unit that they are working on. I will leave the area for the video blank right now because I would want to add a different video for each unit. When I'm finished, I would click Save. Next, I will go back to modules. Because I referred to responding in a discussion with my introduction video, I will now show you how you can create a discussion. Back under Modules, I will again click the plus button on the right-hand side. This time, I will add a discussion. I will click on the Create Topic button because I have not yet created the discussion. Again, because I am making my template right now, I've labeled everything in all caps as a template. This way, I won't accidentally end up writing over my template as I'm working. Click Add Item. In a later video, I will go over the directions for how to edit your discussion, but for right now, let's look at adding other components to the module. While it is possible to add any of these components by clicking the blue buttons on the left-hand side of the screen, they are much faster to add by clicking the plus button under Modules. This will allow you to quickly create many different pages, assignments, quizzes, and discussions. Later, you can go in and edit them. Let's click on the plus button, and this time we will choose to add an assignment. Because I haven't already created an assignment in this course, I get the option to create a new assignment. I can also give the assignment a name, and again in this case, I'm going to use the word template so that I remember not to overwrite this at a later time. Next, we'll click on the plus button and add another component to the module. This time, we will add a quiz. Again, because I don't already have an existing quiz in my course, I will click the Create Quiz button. For this, you will get a choice of what kind of quiz you would like to do. If you have built quizzes before in Canvas, you are probably familiar with the classic quizzes function. They have also recently updated to the new quizzes function, and you might want to try this one out as well, as it has an improved interface and has more updates available. When I click on the plus button, you will also see that it is possible to add a text header, which is simply a heading, as well as an external URL, which would be a link to an outside website, or an external tool. There are many external tools that the district has provided to us within Canvas. While you can add these directly to the module itself, you can also embed them within pages or other assignments on your Canvas course. Now that the template module is created, every time that I want to create a new module based on this template, I will simply click on the ... button and duplicate. You will see that when I do this, the name of the files remains the same, except it has copy to added at the end. I can easily rename these by going to the ... and edit. In this example, I will rename this unit Adulting 101. I can easily go in and edit the names of them here, or I can edit them by clicking on the file, and when I go to edit, changing the name that is in the title bar. I could add a video or anything else I wanted in my introduction and then click Save. You will notice that now when I go back to Modules, the name of it has also changed to Introduction to Adulting. It is much faster to change it as you are editing the page than it is to rename them all here. I would go into each one of these components and adjust it for this specific unit. When the unit is finished, I would publish it by clicking on this button. Only units that are published will show up for students under Modules. It is also possible to create prerequisites and requirements for your module. For example, if I click the ... here and go to Edit, I can add a prerequisite for this module. In this case, because I have only created my template as well as my adulting module, the only one that I could assign to be a prerequisite would be the template module. You can also add different requirements for your module. To do this, you can make sure that students follow specific guidelines. For example, if I wanted to make sure that all of my students viewed the item Introduction to Adulting, I could make that a requirement. Or I could change it so that students had to mark it as done after they have read through the page. If I allowed my students contributing rights to my pages, I could also make it so that my students had to contribute. Let's look at another requirement. If I was having students participate in a discussion, rather than just having them view the item as a requirement, I could make sure that they contribute to the page by posting in the discussion. You can continue to add requirements for each one of the elements of your module as needed. For assignments, you have the option of viewing the assignment, marking it as done, submitting the assignment, or even scoring at least a specific score on their assignment. Last, when we look at the quiz option, you can see that the students have the option again to view the item, submit the assignment, or score at least a certain score on the quiz. This is great if you are working on mastery. You can have students unlock future modules by scoring at least a certain score on the current one. When you are finished, be sure to click the Update Module button. You can see that it is now labeled with prerequisites, and it also has a Complete All Items button.